good evening. Welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Fox Chair, on the show tonight. It's two of Drum Chapel's favourites. Well, allegedly. We've been joined by Big Stevie, and we'll be joined by the Bridge. Evening, boys.
Good evening, Ox, and how's my old pal Bridge?
Can I just say a huge good evening to you two guys? Massive good evening to the guys in the lobby, and to all the Rangers fans that are all the Rangers fans that are listening in all over the world. Good evening. Welcome to Rangers Radio.
How are you, Stephen?
Oh, I'm fine and dandy. My team's doing great. A lot of football still to be played. Looking forward to it. Sharpening my knife, if you want to say that word.
Sharpening my knife, I love it. Getting my pencil ready.
Doesn't really sound when I lead that pencil.
None on the roofs.
So you've had an addition to the family, I believe. Is this correct?
I certainly have, yes. I got Myra Hinley's a wee fella to keep her occupied. A wee French bulldog, wee Fergie McPherson, yes.
Brilliant, just brilliant. Just to keep her occupied.
I think it's been very nice the way some of the people have volunteered to help you if you ever need the dog watched. Mr. Southside for a start. Yeah.
Brilliant.
I got a text from Southside, just let me know when you're going over by for traditional purposes. I'll do a bit of dog sitting. Couldn't believe it.
Are you sure you never read that wrong?
I did read it wrong. Yeah, it wasn't too chuffed at all. I think he's got his hands full with his daughter.
How are you, Bridge?
I'm doing brilliant, pal. Thanks very much. It was a nice day today. I actually went over to Ibrox today.
Right.
And just to see what was going on around about the place. So they've got it well fenced off at the moment. Single file traffic from the shop back down at Edmonton Drive. And the players, shall we say, car parking area, there's a lot of that's gone. They've got the big machines in, they're flattening lots of places, lots of parts of it. I don't know how far they're going to come across towards Ibrox actual stadium itself as it is now. I don't know how they're going to do that. But it's looking good.
Moving the land, they're moving the sort of earth about before they start the foundations. Is that what it looks?
Well, I've got it dug down, I would imagine 10, 15 feet. It was probably 10 or 15 feet high at the time. But it's like a big hole in it. It's not really a hole. It's just taking away for the sort of the lump, the big hill that you walked over. So that's nearly all gone. And they've cut it back to where the boys were doing the, what do you call it? The football, the wee five-a-side football place, I can't remember what they call it. It was just in front of you. That's it, the car park one, that's right, So they've got to cut it back to where the wall was there, and they've got all the cabins up for the workers when they come in. I only saw about half a dozen workers. Saw about 15, 20 people walking around, taking photos of the gates and things like that, with their families. And I think saw one of the guys going up to the shop, and I think it was closed because it's probably none of these are no necessary.
It will be till the next stage of the lockdown, I believe. Yeah. All right. I mean, that's quite interesting. And before I ask you something, Bridge, yeah, and I'm going to ask Stevie. I get sent a bit of trivia today. I know you like a bit of trivia, Bridge. Yeah.
Go on, pal.
This was a good one. This was a good one. Where am I? Let me just... Okay. This player played 115 games. The European final, the Scottish Cup final, League Cup final, and left Ibrox without a single winner's medal. There you go.
Wow, without a single winner's medal.
Have a think. Stevie, that's quite interesting. You actually done a scouting mission for us, because obviously we were chatting today, mate, and we're going to discuss, we've done it before, but obviously with COVID and how things have moved on about the club and when we go to the match and what things are looking for. When your boy goes to the game, What do you feel he's looking for?
He's looking for atmosphere. He's looking for club atmosphere. The young team are they want to sing. They want to congregate early, don't they? Have a good sing song. I mean, see when they had that the wee what do you call it? The wee 5-a-side part set up at the fan zone. Yeah, he loved getting in there because there were a lot happening, and obviously he was what. He's only 13 at the time, you know what I mean? So, once he gets older, he'll be looking for Merry Lip Maesties, a nice good cold beer, and meet up and talk tactics and have a wee sing-song, But, he loved the fan zone, so he did. He loved to walk around, just soak up the atmosphere. But I think most people would go a bit earlier if there was, there was stuff on, but just at the present, maybe that's what we're going to talk about tonight, maybe improving the match day atmosphere and the match day programme altogether. Maybe getting us earlier, good food, and So that's what he's into getting out of there. He would go out a lot earlier, but only there's nothing much on,
Yeah. Do we agree then that there's tremendous food at Ibrox, but not to the general population? Is that fair to say that, Stevie?
Aye, I would say that. Aye, the food inside the grounds a lot of it's not up to scratch in my eyes. Definitely no. I remember maybe even when Mr. Souness came, I think the food upped itself a wee bit. You had a lot of fancy names for stuff, Premier Pies, Bowley Soups, you name it. They had it, but it's fell by the wayside. A pie at the game now is just no cutting it for a lot of people, especially nowadays with the health things.
No cutting it? You need a chisel and a hammer to cut something.
You're no kidding, by the way. No, you're no kidding, by the way.
That's quite good, quite good.
We should be buying pies and flinging them at the opposition crowd if you want to do some damage. It's not hard,
Aye. Right, so we agree that the food, that's a starter for 10. Starter. See what I done there, Bridge?
I heard that one, pal. I heard that one.
What's for the main?
Have you got a name for me yet, Bridge?
A name for what?
The trivia.
The trivia? No, I'm not going to. The trivia.
All right, okay, let's just say.
Can I ask a question on that? Is it in recent times that is a player for recent times or is it back in the day?
I never heard that.
I was it's on that one. I think I would have said George McLean.
No, I'm sure he played in the 64 team, did he?
He would have done. Yeah, he would have done.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
Right. Okay.
What was it? He played in a League Cup final, he played in a Scottish Cup, and he played 115 games for us.
And he played in the European final. Never got a winner's medal.
It's incredible.
Okay, right. Okay, so we agreed that the food. We'll come back to that. So, we'd arguably, around about the early 80s, which is 40 years ago now, the most modern stadium in Britain. Obviously, the last 10 years have been a struggle. So the club can't do everything, Stevie. They've got to look slowly at things and move on. But we need a plan.
100%. They do need a plan, but I really think we're back on our 2 feet now, Ox, and we have our 150th anniversary coming up. Maybe now's the time to fling some other ideas about. I mean, we're not just going to build a museum and leave it at that, surely. Surely there's other things in plan. I mean, they're talking about opening the stadium up, getting more into their... not so much opening it up, probably digging down. They were talking about that and getting a few more rows of seating in and stuff like that, but it depends on the water flow of the Clyde, doesn't it? They're trying not to get in too far, so... no, there's probably a lot going to be going on, but I mean, there's stuff there that, I mean, every Rangers fan's got their own idea of probably something that they could add to there or run about the stadium to make the match day experience better, you know.
Yeah, I've said it before and I'll say it again. For me, and the low level of the three stands, and obviously you can fence it off for away fans, but people should have a facility to walk around, meet inside the ground, and the concourses should be used as an asset, and people should be meeting in there, meeting, eating, drinking, and chatting, Bridgeman, inside the ground.
100% agree with you. We've spoke about that in the recent past. What I noticed today when I was round is there was about 20, maybe 30 people went round the stadium when I was there, men with a wife and kids, 3 or 4 kids, and they were taking photos at the gates, the big Glasgow Rangers get big blue gates, brilliant, and it's great to see people walking in there, but they have got nowhere to get a cup of tea. I think I said this a couple of weeks ago. I would absolutely love it when Edmiston House opens. You're going to have the shop in there, and hopefully they're going to have a wee cafeteria for people to come into and go for a wee cup of tea, and let them. They can then walk around the shop if they want. I'd love that. I'd love something like that, because during the day it's very cold at Ibrox when the wind's blowing. Particularly a day like this. So if there's no sunny, they'll be wanting a wee sit down and a wee cuppa. I'm quite sure they could cope with that. I'm sure of it. I'm hoping to do it. That's for the Edmiston House.
First and foremost, whatever we open, whatever we put in, it's got to make money.
100%.
Yeah, it's got to make money. So we've got to do it right. So you've got a dream, Stevie, that you've thought about, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I certainly have. And it just, for me, it would be there or round about the stadium for a big hotel to be built. You've got boys from Belfast, England, all over on match days, not just in match days. It could be used for anniversaries, birthdays, weddings, you name it. And can you imagine, I just picture it, a big 200-room hotel with a helipad with a big badge on it. You get down through it, and you've got all the players, all the awards, all done. Welcome to the most successful hotel and all that. And then you got with your room that's all Rangers bedding and your big white robes with the Rangers badges on it. It would be absolutely brilliant. Bringing players, no renting, you just land on that hotel, bring them through the hotel, we spot a lunch, then out to the stadium to sign your contract and stuff. It'd be absolutely amazing. And yourself, Ox, Bridgeman, look at the input for Australia, Canada, this show brings. These boys are out of America. They come to see the Rangers on a regular basis, And I'll tell you, it'd be full morning, noon and night. Because at Glasgow, you've got other things that happen in Glasgow around about July time where people would be using that hotel and come on, we'll go and stay in the Rangers hotel. It'd be an experience for everybody. And I just wish that the school across the road, or not so much the school, but that part, that big football part, that's the tough part. We could get our mix on that and build a big, massive hotel. You could have a casino in it. You could have all sorts in it. Swimming pools, a whole lot. That would be a dream for me. It really would.
Obviously, you need to do your sums, your economics, and look at it as risk and reward, mate, and whether, obviously, you're saying, look, if you go there and you use it, but that means if you're using that facility, you're not using a facility that's already there to go for a meal in the club. So you've got to do your yin and yang, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I understand that.
Yeah, listen, but the principle seems, I get the idea and I understand it, and people come up the road and the match is their weekend, isn't it?
Aye.
Well,
I'm not as blind to think that there's pros and cons in every project Rangers will be doing. Mm-hmm. We had to sell part of the car park to the Edmiston House project that's going on now. There's pros and cons in everything else, but I just think it would be absolutely fantastic.
I actually seen there was objections raised and it's moved to the next stage. 14 people for the Cessnock area have objected to that, or that must be, maybe that's the name of the local council, yeah. I read that today. I've not looked to the details, but I get the hotel in principle. Right, we're going to go on with this conversation, Bridge, but On you go, mate.
I was just going to say that I think the objection was for the parking that Rangers have introduced.
The parking, aye.
Nah, but can I just say, when I was driving down to Ibrox, and then I was going to pick my wife up, I had her at the hospital today, and I was driving along Edmiston Drive, leaving Ibrox, and I looked again. So just at the corner of the roundabout there at Helen, I think it's Helen Street.
Mm-hmm.
There's a wee company there. There's got a massive amount of land in it, and I'm sure if Rangers wanted to, they could maybe buy that company over and pull everything down if they wanted it. And there's a lot of land there. I'm sure they could build a hotel there. And I don't know how good or bad indeed how terrible the place is streetwise, but lots of space. There's a very little space. You mentioned you need to get hold of that wee football pitch in order to get the land to build there. I don't think you would be allowed it. I think they won't let you build anything else near Ibrox. I think that's, in my honest opinion, they won't let you do it. But a wee bit away from there, you can maybe do it. Maybe.
Aye. It doesn't need to particularly be right across the road to Ibrox.
Of course, yeah.
Just Hotel Glasgow City Centre, where you can get the subway, easy access out of Ibrox, you know.
That's another one, absolutely, pal. Absolutely.
You know, it doesn't need to be right across the road. That's just, it would be probably better if you could do it across the road, but, you know, it's just open for debate. I just think it would be a great thing. I really do, mainly for the supporters. As Ox said, he was reading a thing there about there was a wee objection today. I mean, again, we get back to it. There's pros and cons. And that objection, what the people were saying on a match day, their lives become hell. You're no naive to think that they might support another football team, these people that are saying that. But
you're joking. That was never crossed my mind.
If the facilities were better at Ibrox, then you probably wouldn't have the young team sneaking up closes for a drink, trying to get away with it, the local constabulary and things like that. It would probably be better for the locals if Rangers improved it. I mean, as Ox is saying, let's get into the Grun at 11 o'clock, meet our pals and sit and have a few beers. You know what I mean? And make sure Rangers get the money, prove the team in the park, all the proceeds.
If you think about it, mate, if you're talking about the stadium and you think of the naivety or the lack of foresight when they done away with the train station there and the rail line, that if people coming for the city centre and then obviously bringing people for the Paisley area, Glasgow Airport way, it would be a good run for the city, because it means you can get a train for the city centre to the airport, which makes a lot of sense, Bridge, doesn't it?
100%. You know, that's absolutely right.
For us, you've not just get people coming for the city centre. You'd have them coming the other way, i.e. the Paisley, Renfrew area. Yeah,
absolutely.
If you go that right, that would take cars off the road. It's going to be logical, but small steps.
Well, we've been talking about a railway extension for easily 40 years now. Easily 40 years since they built the big bridge, what they call that bridge over the Clyde and the Tune. I can't remember what it is now.
Kingston Bridge.
Huh?
The Kingston Bridge.
Kingston, aye, that one. As they built that, they were talking about building a railway line. You know, because they were talking about doing things to bring up. Glasgow Airport wasn't even anywhere near as popular as it is now. But they managed to do it through taxis and buses and goodness knows what. They managed to get them in there. But definitely a railway. A railway would have picked up the, what do you call it, Rangers, you know, the Ibrox Stadium. No problem. For there, Ibrox Stadium, and then away they go into the town. No problem at all. They should have done it. They can see they could see the benefits. Anyway, I'm not saying anymore. Can't I say anymore?
No. Okay, get yourself some mute, lads, and let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Yeah. I mean, I've said it numerous times, and Bridge has heard me basically sick of saying it, but you've got to look at improving the facilities and move forward to the modern era. But I don't expect the club to go out and do it in the next 6 months because of where we've been. But I think a bit of foresight, a bit of planning, like our forefathers had, so that we on this this club that we all allegedly love on to the next generation and the generations after that in a better state now than we picked it up in. You know, and that, when I mean that, I don't mean just the club, the team on the park, the whole facility.
Yep.
Stevie?
Aye, you're building for the future, Ox, you're right. You know, we're going to, our generation and the support and our want to pass something on to the young bells and hopefully they pass it on, which we know they will. I mean, there's one of the things that you were mentioning to me the other day when we were talking about it, was extending the forecourts right out to the pavements. See where we get in the turnstiles, the Govan and the Brimley and the Copeland. You can imagine extending them right out there. And I've got a vision where, picture you're in the St Enoch Centre, you got the stair to the food court. It's all different brands of food, Chinese, Burger King, McDonald's, all different wee stalls all the way along there. I mean, that would improve it. And how you go about getting money off each of the companies, you know, that's down to Rangers, but surely that would improve the match day experience where you can get in there early and get a decent bite to eat. And as you said as well, Ox, the toilet facilities and everything else, they can all get sorted out because they've not been touched as the stadium get built, really, you know. They've had a lick of paint and an odd poster put up on them. No,
in the day when they opened up, they were radical because we moved on for what they were. But it's time to move on again, mate. Yeah. You go to other stadiums like we done when we built Ibrox. We copied Borussia Dortmund because they reckoned that was the way to go. Go back there, look at it. Go to America, look at stadiums, see how they do with space. How do they use space? How do they use it? How do they capitalise it? How do they make it better for the paying prospects? Because they want us in there. Say the average spend at a game. The average spend, now you have Bridge, who'll spend nothing. Yeah? Right?
Poor Bridge, that's a shocker. You're an absolute shocker, so yeah.
Right? And now spends 50. And I'm using that as a number, right? But I know that's low for you. So the average between you is £25. If you multiply that by 50,000 or say 40,000 too, you're talking a lot of revenue. And then the club's getting that money every match day. You know, no, I know it's no simple. You've got licensing laws and all the things you have to overcome, but surely it should somebody be aiming at as society changes, we can get there and be a leader in it, Stevie.
Well, for years and years, Ox, let's be honest here, Rangers have been trying to get Ibrox family orientated. I mean, there's more and more of the lassies got to the game now than ever, isn't there? No, sitting down with a bite to eat with your family would be absolutely brilliant. It would be absolutely immense for me. And you know what just popped into my head there? I don't know if you and the Brad seen it yesterday. Somebody was... one of the other supporters for the other club was getting Subway, the Siamese place, a bit tight, and the Subway pure slaughtered them. Absolutely slaughtered them. Said the best place to go. He said something about the meats or something in Subway, and Subway, the official Subway site, wrote back, and the best place to go to see a decent football match is Ibrox Stadium. So there you are. There's one mob that would come to Ibrox, surely. Right.
That's a whole new meeting. That's a whole new meeting on Subway Loyal, isn't it?
Absolutely, Pat. Absolutely.
Oh, and I read the full conversation. I can't really get into it, but it was absolutely brilliant. The people at Subway slaughtered the Celtic fans that came on. Absolutely off-thrown and quartered them. Tears get down my face. And of course, Myra Hinley works with them, you know, and she's come in with her chest out. Oh, what do you think of that?
Say that again, Stevie. She came in with her chest out and said, what do you think of that?
Whoa. Oh, dude, come on.
Behave yourself.
Come on. Oh, the young girl, she still had her...
On a school night.
Shocking the Perrys.
Oh, that lucky. That only happens like the Olympics. It only happens once every 4 years.
Oh dear.
You know, I was over in Australia, and my brother-in-law he's a member. He's got a membership of the Melbourne Cricket Ground, which is the oldest cricket ground ever. So the stadium, when I first went there way back in '95, when I first went over to see them, it was a smashing. He took me in. It was great. It's got the old bit and all that. It looked quite old. But the last time we were there, they took me over, and my goodness gracious, they've improved the whole place. You want to see the work they've done there? It's probably the best place I've been in. Absolutely superb. Great viewing, you know, all seated. Fantastic. And all the food. And he...
you get the food right in the modern day, Stevie. People are going to have apps on their phone, so you have a Rangers app. You've either got a card that it gets took off your account as you use it, and you'll say I'm in CR7, row 4, whatever you like, yeah. And I want to buy 2 pies, 2 coffees, and they'll get brought to you, mate. And I say obviously safe containers, so that it doesn't get spilled over anybody else. That's what will go. That's what will happen going forward, mate.
Aye. I mean, they're improving the internet at Ibrox. We don't know how it's been because of the lockdown scenario, but they said they're definitely going to improve that. So we've not tested that. Yeah, but as you said, the way forward is your phones, everything. Once you download the Rangers app, can you imagine that? You just text them, right, I'm sitting at row Y, seat 128, and the person comes up with your beer or your burger. There you go. Brilliant, isn't it? Absolutely brilliant. And see, getting back to what you were talking about, you know, look at the Rangers training centre, Rox. They went all over Europe and took the best parts of every train. They went to Ajax, they went to all the different training centres and took the best bits out of everything. And that's why the Rangers training centre is one of the state-of-the-art best training centres in Europe, if not in the top 5 anyway. You know, absolutely unbelievable. And I've been lucky to do a kind of tour of the training centre a couple of times now. But since Gerrard's come in, he's upped it all again. He's added his own touch in Ibrox and everything again. So he gets to experience that. But I must admit, I mean, we done it with Borussia Dortmund when we built the modern stadium after everything that happened in the Ibrox disaster. We kind of modelled it on Borussia Dortmund's, wasn't it? On their big end, you call that, the yellow wall, no? So Rangers are not that. They'll know to get around when they're doing these things and take the best bits, and hopefully, as I said, I just wished, you know, at some point Rangers officials would start listening to the punters a wee bit more. Don't get me wrong, I think they've got Greg Marshall there. They're starting to, I mean, they've come on this show and they're starting to listen. You know, they're starting to take bits and bobs back, you know, which is a good thing.
Obviously, listen, they're a business first and foremost, as we all realise, Bridgeman, you know, and obviously ideas are ideas, but you need to work them through and you need to be involved, because not all great ideas are possible, are they?
Of course not. Absolutely, pal. I welcome any investment in the stadium. I'm one of the guys with the loudest voice when it comes to the toilet facilities at Ibrox, and nothing short of disgraceful. Hardly any running water, hot water. Maybe sometimes not even any running water, if you follow what I mean. But certainly it all wants upgraded. People shouldn't be having to go there. And in this day and age, particularly with the COVID stuff, and they're telling you, wash your hands. There's no soap, there's no towels. You know, the thing's running out all the time, you know. They're just not getting upgraded. So the whole thing to do with toilets, they need more of them. Yeah, just get more of them and do the business properly. So the extension at the back, I would extend it right towards or right into the new Edmiston House. You know, for Copeland Rear, just for saying sake, extend it all the way right away across the road, right through the car park there. And yeah,
remember, I know you find this hard to believe, but there's more than one stand at Ibrox.
Yes, I know, pal. I know that, but if you look at the broom lawn, you can extend all the way back as well if you wished, you know. And then the main stand, the Sandy Jardin stand, I don't know how far back you can go with that, because they need that road. They've got a wee narrow road there. Excuse me. They need to be able to get around the back. But I don't know if they would do that. I don't know if they would extend it. But there's a chance to extend both ends right back. So I don't know what they would do with that. But certainly, I'm saying it simply because the new Edmonton House is going to be there, and I think there should be a walkway from the new Edmonton House, straight into the stadium, and that would would make it easier for people to get in there, and they should be able to walk right round wherever they know their seat is. They can come to the shop and straight in there. That's what I think.
Mm-hmm. I think you've also touched on something else. Obviously, when we get Edmonton House, and hopefully it's an asset going forward, when people are doing the tour, Stevie, and they start in the museum, and then they come into the stadium, and then they end up in the shop. It seems like common sense to me. Yeah,
absolutely,
100%. It's got to be like that. I mean, it's like everywhere else. I mean, I went to a couple of museums in Belgium and France doing the tours. And there's one particular one, you go underground, you go through this door and bang, you're in a shop, you're buying all the relics and everything else, or mementos. It's amazing. But it's got to be done. You've got to do the tour in a museum, and you've got to come back to the shop. That's how it's done, and you buy whatever. There's talk about the shop moving into that, and the shop, the previous shop, the new's got to become into some kind of sports bar or whatever the talk was. But whether that materialises, I don't know. But that was the chat. The chat was that we're going to move the shop into the museum. But we just need to wait and see. It's like everything else, isn't it? Trial and error.
Yeah, it'd be great to hear what other people are thinking, yeah?
Yep.
And see what they're thinking, and see if they've got any ideas, because we're only thinking out loud here, aren't we? We've not sat and planned it, but I think you've got to move forward, Bridge, yeah?
Yeah, I think, and following on from what Big Steve was saying there, so different people have been hearing different things. What I heard was, and I was well putting it out there, is that the ticket office is going to be moving into the area where the shop is. So they'll have a single ticket area. And that'll do away with all the wee cabins that are round about all the place, you know. However, it is convenient to have these wee cabins there, you know, for tickets when they're selling it outside of Copeland Rear or something like that, or even the Broomlawn. They're selling these tickets there. I think there should be a one single ticket office, and if they can, I'd move it in there with that existing stop is.
Would a ticket office in the modern era be something that would be priority? Because the way that if you accept it, most people either direct debit now or renew but online, or most people will know of a ticket in their hand in a season now.
Yeah, but the ticket office is there. See, I'm not being funny. It's empty now, of course, but the ticket office is mobbed. The times you go up there, it's absolutely mobbed, dogs there. I'm not being funny. People like to go and do in private whatever they want to do. And some folk like to just go and pay cash for everything, and that's it done.
That'll be a shrinking market, Bridge, not a growing market.
Well, I'm saying it's there now. Now, you know, I mean, it could be shrinking for years for all I know. I don't. I go up there when I got an issue. You can go to the ticket office and you can get help.
You don't go up there with your issue. You should be there for hours.
I'm saying I go to the ticket office. I've got an issue. Go. So there you are. But all I'm meaning is that that's an old, I don't know, some cabins up there. And yeah, it might be all right for the people that are there, but I'm sure...
not saying that's a facility you want. All I'm saying is that market will be shrinking, won't it? The people who go and actually purchase tickets will be, as things move on, will be less and less. Who actually go and hand over £1 notes, Bridge, yeah?
I understand fully, yeah, but I think you'll always need a ticket office. I don't think we should think about removing it.
I'm not saying that we should have a ticket office, Bridge. I'm saying that maybe something that you were looking at maybe 20 years ago, you needed this amount of space because of this and this.
Correct. You need less of it now, yeah.
I think what Oxy's saying is there'll be less people standing in queues. It's all done automatic now. Your tickets come through the post and you pay through the banks and everything else. You know, and I think that's going to be the way forward, isn't it, guys? You know, everything's going to be done automatic, no? But look, again, we get back to everything's trial and error. I can only agree with Bridge. Many times I've stood there, even in the shop, when the shop opened there, that was 3 days standing in shops, queues right round Ibrox. Never mind the ticket office. I've stood there on many occasions in the rain, waiting in tickets, trying to get tickets for certain things. You know.
Okay.
So.
I've been asked, did you enjoy your cheesecake, big man?
Oh dear. Oh, I forgot to mention that, by the way.
Dear. You forgot, didn't you?
I did forget. We've been talking about food all night, and I forgot about that. By the way,
poor Mary Ann,
Yes, by the way, what absolutely fantastic. By the way, Mary Ann, if you're listening, send Mary that in there. It was absolutely brilliant.
And I love that, Bridgeman. Big cheesecake never brought any into the studio. Shows you a lot about the calibre man we're dealing with here.
How can I say this? How can I say this? Is he wouldn't give it to you anyway. You know, he would have tanned it. No matter what happened, he never had any left to bring it in. That's for sure. He would have tanned a lot.
Was it vanilla, New York vanilla? Was it?
Oh my God, I can't even explain it. It was just a piece of heaven, absolute heaven. By the way,
we wouldn't know, Bridge, would we?
I hate you, Stevie. By the way, I hate. That was really sounds nice.
That will get tanned.
Mary Ann,
absolutely.
Next time, send it to two people who would appreciate it. Is that right, Bridge?
Well, I would. I would for sure, and I think you would. I think you would too.
Well,
I must have shared it.
Next time Mary Ann makes a big cheesecake, and Doogie, by the way, thanks to Doogie, her husband, for bringing it in, doing the transportation. I'll make sure you get a slice of the pie. Okay.
They could just drop it off at us before it gets to you.
Aye.
Right.
Love it.
You the same as you treated us.
What a shocker that man is. What a shocker.
See if I keep eating it, I'll need to put my clothes on with a boomerang. I'll tell you that right now.
Well said, pal. Well said. Oh, brilliant. Just brilliant. You've got to love it, haven't you? You've got to love it.
Can I ask Ox? I know I might be asking a silly question. No names, no back.
Go then.
You find out about that.
How did I find out about that?
Aye.
There's nothing you do that I don't know about.
Oh, dearie me. That's unbelievable, by the way. Unbelievable.
He's got spies everywhere, Stevie. Everywhere.
Beginning to wonder who he works for.
I'm telling you now.
The British government are being...
He can't get doing his work for people speaking to him on the phone and texting him all day, constant. News of the world, he's called. News of the world.
Where was it? Did anybody get that player? Big George Logan's come in with cut broadfoot. No, Neil George.
It must be that team. I'm trying to think of that team because see, at first Andy Halliday popped into my head for some reason, but then he never go to UEFA Cup final, so I can't think. It's one of them, one of that team.
Has anybody got it in the lobby? I'm having a look. Give us a call if you think you've got it. What's the number, Bridge?
The number's 0141 356 1972.
Yes. Yeah, this is for Mr. S. Kipper. It's his trivia every day. Played in the European final for us, League Cup final, Scottish Cup final, and left Ibrox after 115 appearances and never picked up a winner's medal. Yeah.
I find that incredible.
Oh, they're off eating their cheesecake and cakes and all that already.
If you had it, you would give it. Roscoe Rangers says, if you had it, you would give it.
He wouldn't, Stevie. He had it, and we never got a bit. Bridge.
I know, that's a shocker. Stevie's a shocker, by the way.
Only 4 slices.
Brilliant. Oh, just brilliant. I'm not allowed these things. My wife won't let me have these things.
Well, we know that's how we never gave you a bit.
That's my
no, I mean, if they're going to deliver it, they need to deliver it. It's outside. So she can't see it. Love it.
I mean, obviously, remember when we opened the club deck, Bridge? I know you were up and had a look, and you were involved. I mean, up there several
Absolutely,
times,
but aye.
you know? And they done the catering up there, and obviously the people, the numbers up there. Oh, it's not a fair number of people, but they done all the different sections of catering, and the catering at first was excellent. You know, you could have your traditional, your pie, your thing, and you might have had a coffee stall where you get a slice of cheesecake. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, a nice cheesecake, Bridge. You know, people would like that, a cup of coffee. You know what I mean?
The kind that Big Stevie had.
Oh, the cheesecake's off. Come on, right, that's enough. I'm feeling bad now.
And so, I mean, you could have your traditional, you could have, as Fox is always saying, have a Chinese stall that they seem to be able to rattle up anyone in 5 minutes, you know, and then, you know, go and look what else I've got. Would you have a burger bar? Would you want a chicken shop? Whatever you'd want, whatever the people, or you have different things. You just have to look at it, do your research and everything to make going to the game better. People spend money. Ultimately, earn money to the Rangers, Bridge.
Absolutely, pal, 100%. And you know, up in the club deck, they've got these boxes, you know, BT and so sponsors. They use them, bring their guests in. I was fortunate enough to get into one or two of them a couple of times. And the food, unbelievable. The food.
Oh, sorry, Bridge. Take yourself off mute, mate. Press the ring button. Sorry, mate.
Can I just say it? The food was... Big Steve would have loved it. Absolutely loved it. Seriously. Oh. And who was it? Mark Haitley. He was the player that came round and seen to us, you know. And he was also with... Was he with Setanta? Was he one of the pundits with Setanta somewhere?
He may have been at the time, back in the day, aye.
Yeah, so... Oh, but he was great. He came in, 40s, stood for 40s and all that. My young brother was over the moon. Me and my young brother went, you know, just brilliant. When I worked with Shivers, and they used to have a half a dozen seats up in the club deck. Mm-hmm. And I managed to get them a couple of times, took my nephews up, you know. Just brilliant. Just brilliant. Great place. My wife, we wanted to buy 2 seats for me and my wife.
I remember you telling us that.
Walked out and she saw how steep it was. She said, "I'm no one in there."
me and Stevie went to the buffet in the Club 1872. I never got anything.
I like that. Brilliant. It's brilliant.
You came up maybe something earlier on there, and you're totally right. It's a 7 days, 24 hours thing. No, well, not so much 24 hours, but 7 days. See if they open some week in a coffee shop there or run about the stadium, Rangers, where you can go in and have a coffee. I mean, there's been nights where summer nights, a part of motor or a walk around Ibrox. You know, how many bears do that? There's hundreds of bears do that. Some of them are on health kicks and where they walk around it so many times. And you know what I mean? There's some people go on bikes all the way to Drumchapel through the tunnel and drive to it and get on it and then come back. You know, they have a wee coffee shop there where a lot of people on there want the bevy or whatever. They want tea. Things are getting a bit healthier now, you know. And
I think I was just going to say, if you're taking your kids, then a wee coffee shop or just anywhere at all, as long as it's inside, and then they can go into take a walk around the shop or whatever they want to do. As long as they don't get wild. You don't want kids in there going running wild, you know. That's the last thing you want. So they've got to be well behaved. I know that's difficult for having come from Drumchapel myself, but there was quite a few people at Ibrox today.
Oh, man, some of the finest swings in the world have been from Drumchapel, mate.
Some of them, I know, and I was one of them.
Don't get me wrong. It'll not be just if you take a young kid to the game and you give him a decent pie, it's going to make his match day experience better. You will need atmosphere. You'll need things going on. You'll need screens. You'll need to be shown stuff. You might have to have draws for them to win prizes. The catering's only one facet of this, Stevie.
Of course.
I like the reunions. I'll tell you what. Have you ever? I don't know if when recently you've been in the Bristol bar for just for one off the top of my head. the Bristol Bar used to have PlayStations and everything all built in for the Wains to go and sit. The Wains were allowed in because they served food or whatever it was, whatever special license they had. The Wains were getting in there at a certain time and you could sit while you're having a pint. The Wains were playing away at their place. And there's nothing wrong with building so many of the PlayStations in the forecourt for the Wains. The Wains would love that inside Ibrox, belting away at the PlayStation, on the tellies. Absolutely brilliant on screens. Absolutely brilliant. That would be brilliant. I mean, I've still got the dream of Oxford, what you said. Dave King's Highway, you can run that corner where the old Rangers shop is. You got there and it's all done up lovely and a big statue of Dave King like Lord Castle. Absolutely brilliant. Just doing the surroundings
Point up to the stadium. Point up to the stadium.
Your way up, aye. Absolutely brilliant. But there's a million things. I mean, all the bells out there, they'll be sitting in their houses and all listen to this saying, I would like this to be done and I would like that wee touch. There's a million things. Absolutely a million things. I mean, there we've just done the tier, the middle tier advertising. It's all electric now, I believe. And the last game there, you get a wee glimpse of it, you know. I mean, there's a million things. Absolutely about it. As I said as well about the internet. That's meant to be, they're meant to get tapped into that and go to better. How many times you start in Ibrox, you can't get a signal on your phone to phone everybody, you know.
Especially if you lose out the cash shoot.
What about the boy the other night? He's bookie line. He's finally got to the boat, mate.
1.7 million. 1.7 million. Okay, let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Okay. I think there's another. I don't know if there is. I don't know if all schools at it. What was I going to say? But obviously, it's just obviously if you get in the weather, most of the time when we watch the weather, the weather's not the finest. So if you were inside the ground, you're at the elements. The kids are warmer. You're warmer. You can get a coffee, you can get a beer, hopefully in the future as well, whatever you want, but you're in the elements and then you go and sit at your seat at an allotted time. It's no rocket science, big man, eh?
No, definitely no. That's what you're wanting. I mean, you know yourself, we could get the 4 seasons in one day in Glasgow, you know, and it's just you're out the elements, you know. There's other things Rangers could sell to you while they're in there, you know, have to just be food, you know what I mean? Definitely, Ox. There's a million things we can do. There's probably bears out there get better ideas than what we're coming up with here. But I'm mentioning some of these things while we're doing good. You know, the boy Buzzgrove's got his tick now. He's got his gone well. He's got his gone like a well-oiled cloak. You know, the stuff that he's bringing to Rangers, the money, and people are starting to. I mean, Stevie G sells a total pull, isn't he? The money that he can bring to Ibrox for us to get some of this stuff, you know, is absolutely unbelievable. The sponsorship, you know, and I just think Ibrox could be a lot better. First and foremost, it's too wee for me. It's too wee. The input now with Stevie Gerrard, the European runs, I just think Ibrox could be bigger. We could get more bells done. I think 10-year waiting list for a season ticket, that's just... We could bring it to at least 65,000, 70,000, I think. Ibrox.
I was just going to ask you the question here. How many did you think? 65, that's big.
I would say 65. Well, we're 55 now. If you had that 10,000 waiting list, you could wipe that clean, couldn't you? The slate clean.
Where are you getting the 55 from? I thought we were only 51.
52,000, isn't it?
I'm saying
55's a good number, isn't it?
Oh yeah, 55 definitely. But I think if they're going to lower,
was the number on his cheesecake.
Yeah, I think if they're going to lower the pitch to get extra money, I think they're only talking getting that in maybe between 3,000 and 5,000, as far as I'm led to believe. So that'll bring you up to 55.
Wait, what would take the tellies away? creating another 2,500 at each corner.
All right, okay, well, you still need the telly, but you need to find another place for them. You need to create something for them.
I don't know I think if Rangers done a survey, the Mora saying to all the Bears supporters clubs, all the different clubs, would you like to see the corners filled in at Ibrox? I think it would be 70-30 coming back saying aye, to create more an atmosphere. I think the tellies were a great idea at the time because we were talking about concerts coming to Ibrox, which they did do, but I just think now's the time for increase the capacity for the support. I don't know about other people, that's just my opinion. I think the tellies are a thing of the past. I'd love to see them getting filled in and the corners getting rounded off.
Would you say if they used that space for seats, then the tellies went somewhere else? Because they're revenue streams as well for adverts, etc. Yeah.
You've got advertisement, but I think all the electronic stuff goes all the way around the bottom tier around the pitch, and then you've got the one up in the middle now, the middle of Ibrox sort of way around. That's all electric now and all, so you're still going to have advertisement. But there is places where you could put different size of screens. I mean, they are massive, the tellies. But I just think now's the time. If you've got a 10-year waiting list, or 10,000 waiting list for to get into the stadium, I think you've got to look at filling the corners in. I really do, as well as bringing another few rows down, digging down the way. I just think now's the time. But only my opinion, guys, only my opinion. I just think Stevie G's just a big pull. The way our team's playing now, the European runs, we've had 3 great seasons, we've had 3 great... Many games in Europe did we play this year? 17?
13 games.
13. There's 13 games in Europe, man. That stadium would be rocking if it wasn't for the pandemic. And it's no shame to think you've got maybe 10,000 Bears on a waiting list that would have loved to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Think of the money they'd have generated.
But again, it's risk and reward, isn't it? You'd have to see how much revenue that's going to bring you for, say, 20 a year, and how much it's going to cost to do the improvements, Bridge.
Yeah, I think that I talked about this before. The difficulty, the ones between the main stand and the Copeland and the Broomlawn, I'd love to see that part. But that's good. They've got the big stairways up to the what do you call it? The I can't remember the term. It doesn't matter. The club deck. That's the one. So I want them to come up with an engineering solution on that. And it might be take those stairways down one year after another, and push the stairways back and rebuild them again. But leave enough room to, get in there and fill that in. And I don't know whether it would be feasible. How would it make it? I don't know. But it would have to be an engineering solution. But it would be absolutely brilliant, because that would get just the stuff you were talking about. You could actually be able to walk around the whole of Ibrox then, to all intents and purposes. Great.
An engineering solution with Fox is a bigger hammer.
A plumber's hammer. See, guys are just about increasing. I mean, this isn't going to get done overnight. I'm just talking about for the future, I just think when you hear things like there's 10,000 support. I mean, there's 26,000 members last season. Most of them are joining that for different. Well, don't get me wrong. I would say people are joining it because they want away tickets and they're ticking the boxes for cup games, but mainly a lot of people joined that for season tickets. I certainly joined it to try and get 2 season tickets for me and my boy together, and I was lucky enough to get it through my Gers. But I mean, there's thousands of Bears can't get tickets together with their boys and their family. And if we increase the capacity, then that would help the scenario. I mean, one of the arguments is going to be with some of the Bears is, look, they've got 60,000 across the city, and you've seen what happened with them. There were banners put at the top tiers. We're no them. We're definitely no them. And I think if we increase the capacity to 65,000, I think we would have that. The way we're playing the now and the team that we've got, I definitely think Ibrox would be full if we increased it.
100% agree with you. 100% agree with you.
It's just my opinion again. No.
Aye. I mean, at this moment in time, mate, I think you're right. And hopefully this good run that we're on and goes from strength to strength, and the feel-good factor kicks on for, well, let's just say it keeps going, yeah, because obviously you don't want to put a time on it, but I get what you're saying, because and get the club to a different place, and you're right. If we do increase our capacity, we increase our revenue streams, and more people are in buying the good standard pies, or you have your traditional roll shop where you can buy a rolling ham and a rolling sausage and keep it simple, and then the next one's Mexican or something, you know? Or you can get a bagel on the ground, you know what I mean?
Yep. Healthy eating, get Subway sandwiches in there.
Subway sandwiches seem to be quite popular.
Absolutely brilliant. Can I ask a question before? Sorry, pal. I would just like, can I ask just one question? We're speaking about season tickets. Obviously, there's something no right. The season tickets don't appear to be getting released. I've got no idea what it is, but there's something holding it back. Any ideas? Any idea what's holding it back? The season tickets?
I maybe come up with an idea why they're maybe taking their time out. They've just, in my humble opinion, I don't know if I'm right or wrong, they've just took, obviously all the Migers people have just been hot again there for their monies for renewal for Migers. Maybe they don't want to just dive in and do Migers season tickets, blah, 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 on the one go bridge. Maybe they're just taking their time out and, you know, maybe there's something else there rising. I mean, we're champions now. Is the season ticket money, whether we're getting in or not going to go up, or they're just going to cap it? Yeah, I don't know.
I would think that there's one thing on the horizon, Bridge. They'll want to try and let us know what's happening next year. You would leave it as long as possible to make sure that when you do put out everybody, it's hopefully going to get into the ground. Yeah. Obviously, that'll be the factor is how everything's holding back. Yeah.
Yeah, there's got to be something in it. I think it's, well, this is only my opinion.
There's nothing untoward. Listen to what I'm saying, yeah?
I can hear you, pal. I think there's something more problematic and it's less simplistic the way you're making.
Bridge, listen to what I'm saying, yeah? Yeah. They want to know what's happening with what they're allowed with numbers come August. Before they put it out, yeah?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I think there's something even deeper than that, but never mind. We'll find it.
There ain't. You're reading too much into it.
I'm not reading anything in the end. I don't know anything about it. I'm just making guesses, that's all.
You're reading too much into it. We're getting near that time for a tune. Nobody's joined us yet, really. I think we'll need to...
I think I've blocked the phones.
I thought Mary Ann would have been on the phone so she gives a bit of cheesecake, Bridgeman.
Maybe if with cheesecake they would join us.
Maybe. Well, at least they're lucky to get a bit, you know what I mean? Well, get yourself in mute. We're going to have a tune.
don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Yep, let's hear from you. Get your ideas, your thoughts. Is it important to you? Is it important to you, the match day experience? Do you care? Or are you happy with the way things are? Or do you want things to improve? Everybody's got different opinions, Steve, yeah?
Of course they have, Vox, and it's important to be the match day experience because, look, it's like everything, money predicts as well, but if I've got it, I want to give the Rangers it. I don't want to spend it in surrounding areas, get into different off sales and daft things like that. And you want to give the Bears, you want every penny you spend, you want to improve the team. I mean, it's like the Union Bears. The Union Bears are a big part of my match day thing. I love sitting in that stadium and they boys get their drums going and they've got the banners out and everybody's doing the bouncy with them. You can't beat it. You can't beat it. They boys bring something to the match day experience, and that's just one wee thing. My boy loves...
They wee boys will not be wee boys forever, mate. The next time they'll be taking their own families along.
Yep, they'll get wiser, they'll get older, they'll the future. And I mean, I was one of the young boys. I went everywhere to see the Rangers. Going to some of the... I told you one of the stadiums I loved going to was Tynecastle, that old... That in and out, that one wee exit, man. Yeah, sometimes I was lifted off my feet. I wasn't even walking, I was carried. I just
don't know where the 5 years I've went since I was in the Union Bears.
5 years. Aye, I mean,
Bridges fell off his chair.
Just one of the highlights, sitting in the stadium watching the Union Bears doing their business. Absolutely brilliant.
Forgot I was on mute there, yeah. Shocker, yeah. See ya. A shocker.
Aye.
Well, man, 5 years. Where did you get that one from?
Brilliant.
Oh, dear.
Was it that long ago you were wearing your Boys Brigade outfit?
Yeah, mate. 1983, Centenary, Ibrox, mate.
Bloody life boy, if you ask me. Bloody life boy.
Aye. All good Rangers men were in the Boys Brigade, weren't they, lads? I was a 142 S's side there. I went on to the 77.
I was in 84.
Aye.
Up at the, what do you call it? Peel Glen, corner of Peel Glen and Kinfons. Used to be the Methodist church there. It used to be the Methodist church.
That's right, Bridge, aye.
Funeral care now.
Aye, that's my friend, yes.
Mr. Measuring Tape.
Yeah.
108, me, 108.
Aye. Karashi's a quick question about the Boys Brigade. Did you get your wee medals on your badges on your arms? Did you fill yours out? I think I got about 3 or 4. That was it. I chucked it.
Queen's badge, me. Queen's badge.
Really, Ox? Aye.
Duke of Edinburgh's as well, mate.
No way. You purchased them and stuck them on. No way.
No.
Party man before that? No way.
Yep.
We picked them up doing the bars.
The Duke of Edinburgh. That was hard, mate. You've been in the Blue Room in my mum's house, mate. If you looked on the wall, you'd have seen all that stuff.
Well, I was there. What a woman, yes, I was up. It shows you. Never judge a book its cover. You had all the full regalia. Unbelievable. I've got a 40 somewhere in my man's 40 album with me, Rory gear on, man. Need to dig it out and show you it sometime.
Yours will be in black and white, mine's will be in colour.
Let's say that, Bridger.
Brilliant, well done.
I know. Aye, by the way, the families in the days, the ones with these shoes stood at the back, first up, best dressed in the days,
Well, aye, different world, wasn't it? Different world. But great times, I must admit. Great times. Everybody. Oh, yeah, everybody, wasn't it? Everybody was in the BB, wasn't they?
Greater sense of community then, wasn't it? Your neighbours. Aye, before phones, everyone's phones doing it. So.
Entertainment, aye, and obviously that's a big factor about having Wi-Fi in the ground as well.
Aye. Yep. Aye. Everything's done. You've not got your phone on, it's like losing an air minute. It's everything. You do your bank and everything through your phone. Absolute everything.
Everything but talk.
That's it. Apps. You learn better off your phone than you do everything. Brilliant. Anyway, back to the Rangers.
We digest, we move on. Listen, I see that the club have shut down a lot of the players, and the club showed them social media becoming the abuse that's coming at some of our players. I mean, look,
terrible.
What I will say is we're not denying that the boy Roof hurt their goalkeeper. I genuinely believe it was an accident. It was a boy went for, and he hurt the boy by accident. The boy took his red card, we'll move on. But come on, Slavia Prague, please, man up. Your boy made a mistake. He said something he shouldn't have done. And let's move on, get the boy punished, and send a message out to everybody in world football.
Yep. Yeah.
I hear you, pal. In fact, I think that guy should have done it himself. He'd have walked up with his hands up and says, sorry. That would have been better for him. He's going to get hounded. And I don't mean racially or anything. He's going to get hounded.
Yeah, I can only agree with everything he says. Yeah, look, the boy Roof, you watch it hour and hour again. He just follows the ball away. It was a terrible accident. It was a straight red card. We've no qualms about it. We've absolutely no qualms as Rangers fans about we get beat with a better team of the two legs. But listen, nobody walks up to somebody with their horns out their mouth and says, but that boy, he's just making a total fool of himself. He's making a fool of his club and everything. He's an absolute disgrace. As you said, Bridget, but people would think better of him if the boy just says, look, heat of the moment, I would early say something stupid, I regret it, my horns are up. I think people, that's better, civil, and, that would mean better. People, but move on. I mean, listen, you talk about social media. The Bears are doing that in protest, hoping that people take more note about the racism thing. And fair play to them, at least they're doing something about it. And Glenn Kamara, I listened to his statement on ITV News. The boy done himself proud. And he's nothing to be ashamed of, by the way. And everyone is our way, Glenn Kamara and Rangers. Rangers have come on leaps and bounds with their everyone, anyone thing and everything else. There's no a club trying harder than Glasgow Rangers, but we've got to be honest. Slavia Prague should put their horns up and grow up a wee bit. Their support's a disgrace, some of the stuff.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll be joined by James from Tennessee. Evening, James.
Hello. Good evening. How is everyone?
All right, mate, you?
James Leach, is
good.
That?
No, James Picken. I'm related to the Leaches, of course.
All right.
So how are you, Stevie? Stevie from the Drugs. You're one of the best. Yeah, good. You're one of the best panellists there, I've noticed. Very good.
Oh.
And so is Bridgeman. Bridgeman as well. Excellent.
Thanks very much, James.
I would also say as well, see that George from East Kilbride, you should have him on because he's fantastic, absolutely brilliant. I can't help stop laughing when he's on the program.
We can't have him on every night, mate, because the nights he's knowing he's up to something goes pear-shaped for him.
He's brilliant, but value for money.
Yeah, he's really
brilliant.
In fact, we should have a GoFund page for his couch. I would be willing to donate to that. And his travelling to the shops as well when he loses his cards. Actually give him one of these Visa.
What about his taxi when he parks at Ibrox? He still needs to get a taxi at the Grun.
Well, put it this way. When I come, I'll get him a taxi. When I come, I'll take him to... I'll get him a taxi, make sure he's okay. But what I wanted to say is Slavia Prague are still up to the same tricks they're putting the boot in. They like to take out players. All their players are very smart. They're a hard team to get through, actually. But what I was going to say, I've got a few players for you for next season. Whether you agree or not, I'll just give them to you. Do you want them?
Yes.
Maybe.
Yep. There you go, James.
I've got 5, and some of them you'll not agree. I know you don't agree with this stuff, but I'll give you them anyway. Right, I've always liked Millwall. Very, very right midfield player. Very, very quick. Got a good shot on them. You get 10. He always scores at least 10 goals, and you might get him for $1 million or something. But he's a good player. Also, Stevie from the Drum likes this next player, Andreas Stramer from Midtjylland. He's good. I like him. I think he's good potential. What we need is players like Slavia Prague. We need players that are athletic, who will work hard in the game. That's how they beat us, because they've got big, strong, athletic players, people that are fast. And that's why I'm pleased we've got that boy from Aberdeen, because he's like, we need really fast players that will work hard. And so Andreas Dreyer, and I like Stephen Berghuis. I know that you'll probably say he's above our bracket, but he's a player that can go right across the field and shoot anywhere. He's fantastic. You might get him for $7 million if you're lucky, but I don't know if you'd pay that.
Who's he play with?
Yeah.
Who's he play with?
He plays with Feyenoord. Remember he played against us, but he's a great shot on him. Penalty kicks, would never miss a penalty with him, I'll tell you that. So Stephen Berghuis, I like him, but he's getting old. He's 29, but we could maybe give him 2-3 years. These are all kind of just people I'm suggesting. The next one I would go for is Nikolai Stanchu. See the guy from Slavia Prague. I know we might not deal with him, but he can shoot. We need a player that can shoot. The amount of chances we get, nobody ever shoots. See if we get somebody who can actually shoot, we'd score a lot more goals. So you might get him for $4 million. And the last guy I would go for is Dala. Let's see. There's a guy. Oh yeah, the other guy's from Slavia Prague as well. Sima. He's playing tonight, and he's a really 19 and a good winger. You might get him for $5 million. But what I'm actually pointing out is we need players that are very direct in Europe, and we're going to beat teams like really fast, athletic players, because they've had to play through Slavia Prague, and that's how we lost that game. But it was just chances. But I agree with what you're saying about Stevie, about monopolising, trying to get as much revenue. I think Rangers should do that, get a cafe or things around about the stadium and so forth. So I agree with that.
A cafe? I know just the man for that, but that will remain nameless.
Right. So that's my opinion on these players, but I'm sure that our manager will get the right players in stock. But I was very happy with the league winning the league, and that was the main thing anyway. Winning the league, we had a video in Nashville about it, which was very good. We're all jumping up and down, so I was very happy with that. We were flags and 55 balloons in Nashville, one of the main bridges in Nashville, so that was excellent. So, yeah, these are quite quiet just now on callers calling in.
The thing that's happened, it's after the Lord Mayor's show, because obviously it was such a high, mate, and obviously, you know, Europe, a wind that we're sailing with, unfortunately, we've not got a match tonight, and we'd all been buzzing, so it'll be a slow build-up to, I would say, you know, next weekend, but next week with the game against them in the Cup tie, things will start buzzing. Stevie? Stevie? You're on mute. Carry on.
Hear me now? You hear me? Aye. I was just going to get back to one of James's players there, the boy that plays for Slavia Prague. Is it Stanchu? He's a Romanian international, isn't he? We had you.
Yeah,
you were saying there maybe get him for $4 million. You would probably double that, James, to be honest. But what a player. I totally agree with you. A boy can shoot, and he's proved that with 2 goals against us. His 2 goals were absolutely fantastic. Even though I thought Mr. McGregor was too far over in one of them, but the boy can hit a ball. He's got some shot on him. He's got a good football brain. He's fast. He's strong too. And that's what probably we need, because you're totally right. Most of the time, walk the ball into the net, and there's chances there where you're at the 18-yard box, you're saying hit it, you know. But no, that's one of them. And the other boy, is it Dreyer for Midtjylland?
Yeah.
You mentioned him one of the times, and he was absolutely brilliant. He's another good wee fast player. There's definitely potential there, but at least two of the players out of the four you mentioned anyway for me. A good eye for a player. I totally agree with you. The boys are fast, but again, you just don't know the money situation and everything else. You know, you don't know how much these boys would really cost. Although you're flinging numbers about, are they going to be that?
Yeah.
You know, going to be that much? So
I see the day that once again, I know it's only media and it's only talking shops, but Haji's been linked with Lazio again, and this site rumoured him at €13 million. Yeah,
11 million money in it, 11 and a half.
Yeah,
I seen that. Would I take that for him?
Me, you're asking the wrong person, aren't you?
I'm saying, would I take that for him? I said, I'll take him there in a taxi today. I would have to say, if there's truth in that, I would definitely be taking 11.5 million quid in our money. I would be letting them go for that 100%. I know the boys get potential, and people maybe say, what you want to sell, maybe one of your best players, because he has been influential. There's games there where he's popped up with goals and he's popped up with assists.
Right.
Although he's not done a lot in some games, but I mean, what do you need to do? You don't do a lot. You pop up with a winner against Hibs, you know. You could there's pros and cons with Hadji. You could argue the point with him, but I just think £11.5 million in our money would be too much allure. I think Rangers would let him go for that. I really do.
Okay, the question I don't think anybody's got the answer yet. European losers medal, League Cup losers medal, Scottish Cup.
I would say I've got the answer. Maybe Roger Hind.
Nope.
Roger Hind.
Nope.
No.
115 games, losers medal, European final, League Cup final, Scottish Cup final.
Must have been Manchester.
It's one of the Manchester teams.
Must have played in Manchester. Must have done. Well, at least I think so, because I can't think of anything else. You were speaking about Slavia Prague players.
Is it Ox?
Nope.
No.
You're speaking about Slavia Prague players. I thought there was three that really, really impressed me. Was that boy Stanchu? And Alexander Ba, the fullback come winger, you know. And to me, for me anyway, the best player of the whole lot would have been that boy Provod. I thought he was fabulous.
He's
tall,
good,
blonde-headed guy. A super player. By the way, I think all the players were top quality players. But those three, if we had the money, I would certainly invest in them. Wouldn't have any problems.
But they might not want to deal with.
No, I don't mean it. I mean, I'm just a general statement. I wouldn't. I don't think we would buy any of them. But I think if it was me, and I wanted to say invest, I would invest out of that team. It'd be those three I'd look at and try and buy them.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I'll go now. But it's a good show anyway, and
great to hear from you, James.
I'll see you again. But still, get George on. I want George on.
We'll have you on at the end of the season when we'll have a sing-song, James.
Yeah. Stevie, do you think my singing is good? Before I go.
Listen, by the way, after what you said about being the best pundits, of course I do. And I'll tell you another thing, there's a cheesecake en route to you. I don't know what it'll look like by the time it gets there, but you're getting a bit of cheesecake.
I'll look better. Look better than the cheesecake me and Bridge got anyway.
Brilliant.
Okay, take care, guys. Bye now.
Right, James.
James.
Bye.
Tennessee, yeah.
Redfish, Tennessee. By the way. Aye. Some music history there.
Aye.
Music history there. some good blue noses with the sounds of it. I know the Derby party, wee 55 party. Even in Tennessee, brilliant.
Well,
Brilliant.
I don't think we appreciate, mate, being parochial, being the UK, mate, what it means to people all over the world, mate. I really don't.
Oh, no.
Bridgeman, you would have wee taste of that when you were an ex-party.
Why, absolutely, yeah. Yeah, we taste everything, that's for sure.
Or cheesecake.
Aye, absolutely. I'm thinking Kevin Thompson.
No, mate. No.
Wow.
No. I'll give you a wee clue, right? He's only even Warham.
Don't tell me it was him, Danny, for God's sake.
I'll say it again. He's only even Warham.
Okay, we're not wrong.
What did you
final?
For that?
We're in the wrong UEFA final, that's for sure.
Aye.
Must be bang 72.
Well, we won that one, so can't that one.
Oh, dear. Use of the brains.
Of course we won it. What am I talking about? Dear, oh dear, oh dear.
Oh, dear.
Thick as anything.
Right, okay, we'll come back to that. But what did you make of it? What did you make of the Hatchie thing, Bridges? Is it something you would look at if that? I'm not saying it is true, mate, because it's clickbait and there's nothing happening, so people have got stories out there. But do you think, right, let's just say they come in and it ended up at 15 million quid. Would that be something that you would find attractive?
Yeah, I think I would, actually, to be honest. I think he needs to sit down with the manager and the coaching staff to find out if there's anything else he needs, to be able to become a big star in the Rangers team. Because I know he's a star, but he's not a big star. I think he's a smashing wee player, but that doesn't mean to say he's going to be a front man, first name in the team sheet every week. And he is probably the type of player that wants to be the first name in the team sheet. So I don't know if it's going to happen for him in Glasgow Rangers. But don't get me wrong, if the manager says he's staying. I'm very happy to have him as part of our team. But someone walks in with 11 to 15 million pounds, I don't see any problem taking it. I don't see any problem at all.
Okay, mate. We've been joined by Alec. For wish you evening, Alec.
Good evening, Alex here. Bridgeman. Stevie, how you doing, lads? All right?
You restore my faith, Alec. You're phoning in to tell me who this player is.
Oh, for Christ's sake. Right, I'll take a guess, all right. I reckon it's somebody at the 67 team, Alex Smith.
You're a lot warmer. You're a lot warmer than these two warmers.
I'm a warmer tonight.
Right, okay.
Oh, so it's the 67 team then.
Jeez, well, we won the Scottish Cup 10 days after we played in the UEFA Cup final, yeah?
Right.
Right.
Alright, so.
Still no got a clue.
Rangers supporters.
He's another clue.
No.
He's something on the player.
No.
Aye. No.
Oh, dear, you've got to laugh. Oh, come on. You'll no sleep tonight.
That's a good
anyway, what's on your mind, mate? What's on your mind?
Just the way the club's going in that. Aye, great. Improvements. I totally agree with Bridgeman there. The toilets could be done. That'd be the first thing I'd do. Priority there, a disgrace. I'm not going away for that. To build the corners for the televisions. Big Stevie's right there, I know. Get extra amount of fans in there, I know. And maybe another tier on the Sandy Garden stand.
If they get rid of the tellies, we could get Bridge one of them for his bedroom, couldn't we? Carry on, Alex.
That's what I think. They could maybe another tier in the Sandy Garden and the corners and that where the televisions is, and the waiting list that they've got, and utilise all these fans now. Let's try to get into the games and that, the waiting list is all about. So, but hospitality and that, we definitely we need to up the market in there. We've all been abroad and that in different places, America, been over there, I know. You go to the baseball, you walk in, on the kids the T-shirts, you get vouchers for your hamburgers and all that, and you sit in the crowd, as you're saying, and they're coming up and serving you with the drink and all that. That's the kind of way we should be going. I know it might not be for a long time, but that's what it's about now. You've got to look after. And a great idea, as you say, meet in the stadium, and you can mix all your pals in there. Because basically all you do, I know I do it, I go for a couple of beers before the bus, get in there, go to the loud and get a couple of beers and get into the game, you know, and your mates are all there sitting. And that's basically it, you know. And they could utilise it a little bit, Rangers. Here's hoping.
We've got a big asset, which is the grunt, mate, and you want to maximise it, eh?
Correct. I mean, we go way back, I know it was old Ibrox in that way. 90,000 and all that carry on, you know, it was brilliant in that, you know. But the atmosphere can be even made, fill the corners in completely. It'd be amazing.
Yeah,
Great atmospheres I know, but let's use it right. All these young kids are waiting to go in that, they're all champing at the bit. They're desperate to spend their money, the blue pound.
Yeah. We've also been joined by Jamie. Evening, Jamie.
Hi, evening, Ox.
How we doing?
Hi, Jamie.
Hi, Buds.
Hi, Jamie.
Hiya. I signed tonight. The reason I'm calling, calling to add to the guy for Tennessee was saying about like suggestive signings for us in the summer. I actually think it's probably more important that we keep a hold of most of our players that we have just now. Personally, I would only like to see one or two come in to add to the first team. If I was to name somebody, it would be the Hibs left back, Deutsch. I know he's been linked with Leicester and a couple other clubs in England, but I would think about going for him because I don't think Bassey's really provided any cover for left back with any confidence, certainly in the second half of the season. So he would be the only one I would really identify, but I think it's more important that we keep a hold of most of our players now, and maybe move on some of the ones that are coming to the end, like Defoe. I know he's been spoken about recently as well. I would personally just let him go and think about the future, really. But I think it's more important we keep a hold of this squad.
Yeah, so Defoe will go. I think Greg Stewart's contract's up, yeah? Obviously, it looks as if Sunderland are going to come in and potentially give money for Jordan Jones. Then you've got, Edmondson if we get a buyer for him. So that brings in, hopefully, revenue plus frees up wages. I take your point. Good point, Stevie.
I agree with him. I'm no one for upsetting the apple cart too much, but I just think what we were talking about earlier on, if people come in with stupid money for some players that are, you know, you could maybe no easily replace, but you could maybe get better. I mean, if 11.5 million for Hadji, you went out and spent another £8 million on the boy Stanchu, who played against, scored the 2 goals against us. I think that's better than that's just an example of what you could maybe do. But I agree with him. I'm no man for upsetting the apple cart too much. 2 young boys that's caught my eye in the Scottish League is the wee Northern Irish boy for St Johnstone, plays the midfield, and the Hibs centre forward. But again, it's whether they would. Rangers are a big pull. They would come, but I just think. I don't know about the Hibs centre forward right enough. The young boy that scored against the Fulham, you know. They 2 boys to me are good potential boys, you know, a lot of youth, and they're up and coming, and they've caught my eye. But again, I totally get back to what the caller was saying. I wouldn't upset the apple cart too much. It's good to see we've got Tav and McGregor and Davis and all these boys signing contracts again. It really is. And by the looks of things, I don't think the Alfie's going to be looking to go anywhere for what he was saying in his statement the other day, you know. So, no, I mean, we've got a team capable of now getting on next year and winning the league again, the way it is now. But I think if we have bits of quality to it, then aye, that would be enough. Just 2 or 3 bits of quality, because we're taking a step up in Europe, hopefully. And we don't want it against. I mean, I watched the Bayern PSG game last night. they're just, man, I was watching that game and it was absolutely fantastic, some of the football. And you're no one to get into these games against these teams and get embarrassed in any shape or form. So you're wanting to be 2 or 3 players, quality, real quality, maybe 5 million quid each. I know 15 million's a lot of money, but you'd be looking to spend that hopefully to get maybe up there so you're not getting embarrassed in Europe, know what I mean?
Can I come in, Oxchair?
In a second, because we've just been joined by Baloo, mate. I'll bring you in a second, yeah?
Right, okay.
Yep. When you go, Baloo.
How you doing, boys? Good evening.
Hi, Baloo.
You'll have the player. You'll have the player.
Bridge, if Bridge has got something to say, let him go ahead.
No, I was just going to shout out the name of the player, that's all. My last guess, Norrie Martin.
It's all of the woman lobby now.
I'm not in the lobby.
Don't try and your WhatsApp group's got it and all, but
I'm not in anything. I'm sitting talking to you.
I didn't hear the question anyway. I didn't know what the question was.
Where have you been, Baloo? Where have you been? That's
I've been listening to it, but every time I come on, I've actually been watching part of the Arsenal game. I've been watching some of the Masters and listening to you guys as well. So I didn't hear the question. I heard the sort of.
What about that for an excuse, Alec? That's one of the worst. That's the worst since we never got a bit of cheesecake earlier on the night.
When I heard there was no cheesecake going, that's
don't
why
you be biting, Baloo. Don't bite, Baloo. Don't bite.
That's why I didn't tune in. I thought I like a cheesecake. But hey, listen, I've seen my big Stevie eats during the day, so he doesn't get enough food during the day. That's why. A big man survives in crisps in a roll.
By the way, I'd rather keep him for a week than a fortnight.
No,
the question was 100. I played 115 games for us. Played the European final, League Cup final, Scottish Cup final, and never got a winner's medal. And the answer was Norrie Martin.
Norrie Martin. There you go.
Norrie Martin.
Yeah.
Martin Johansson, Masson, Greg McKinnon, Dave Smith. I remember that mob.
All right.
That was one of my.
He was basically a stand-in goalkeeper for Billy Ritchie, to be honest.
112 games.
He was raised for how many years? 12 years.
12 years.
There you go. Because when I started going, we had that, was it a Dane? What was his name again?
Eric Sorensen.
Eric Sorensen, aye. That's right. He was
obviously, Jamie, me and you, we can go and talk myself. We're far too young for all this, mate. Let's do it.
I don't know the player, to be honest.
Aye, right.
I got it in history at school.
James Pickens, you're a shocker.
What was that, mate?
What position did they play?
A goalkeeper.
He was in goals when Berwick Rangers beat us.
No,
the famous game. We Sammy, he scored the goal.
Jeez,
that was your goalie. Big Norrie.
And you know who the goalie was at the other end, don't you?
Jock Wallace,
yeah. Jock Wallace. Big Jock Wallace. Aye. The wee guy who he passed away there, wee Sammy Reid. He scored the goal. He played in Liverpool and Motherwell.
Jeez,
They were the days, eh?
No half.
Aye, they were the days. Jamie, can I go back to Jamie's question then? I'll take it to Baloo next. Jamie, I agree with you. I think we have to, it's a couple of players, a quality we need to add. Who the players are, only time will tell. And I think and they're guys that's got to come into the first team and improve our first team. It's difficult, but I'm sure Ross Wilson, Stevie G will be on the ball, mate. Yeah, but I agree with your sentiment, mate. Baloo?
Is the question about who we should sell, take money for?
No, the question was about signing players. Jamie came up with, he's saying don't go mad, just try and keep them.
I said that a couple of weeks ago. I think if we add 1 or 2, maybe even 3 players, but it depends on the budget that we're willing to spend. Because obviously you're going to probably have to buy these guys before